And we are back. Pokemon Sun Hardcore Nuzlocke. We're going to be starting the second attempt right here in this episode, and basically everything starts the same. We lock in the Litten. We're going to try to get the Incineroar this time. We get the Picky Peck right off the bat, the little Woodpecker in the first route, and we beat How both times. No problems there, no casualties, no careless mistakes. But then something very interesting happens that kind of differentiates the first attempt from the second, so let's go ahead and see what that was. Our Hau'oli city encounter right past the shopping district this time around is actually the cute little Pichu, potentially getting the Alolan Raichu if we can make it that far, if we can keep this little guy safe. I know he levels up with the friendship to get the Pikachu, so we're going to have to watch out for that, see if we can run back and forth long enough to get that Pikachu before anything crazy happens. But we beat Teacher Emily without any complications, so really the next roadblock is going to be that first trial captain, Lima, so let's go see if we can take him on without losing anybody. Alrighty, it is time to take on Captain Lima with his two Pokemon, and his Smeargle is an absolute gatekeeper. So let's see if we can cook up a little strategy to beat him and keep all three of our Pokemon safe. Pichu comes down, and our secret strategy is we are just going to lean into Charm. We spend hours on the beach trying to get this friendship up to where a Pikachu could happen by this point in the game, but it was not happening. Hours and hours running back and forth, and we still couldn't evolve him by the time he hit level 10. So we're just going to have to take the cute little Pichu, and we've got 3 charms down. So Yongoose is -6 right now. Beautiful stuff, and that way we can potentially ramp up with somebody else. But again, the Smeargle is going to be the moneymaker. So we get Pichu to safety here, and the Picky Peck comes down. The tackle is -6, but still does really good. I think Yongoose has the stakeout ability, which means basically all of his attacks do pursuit damage on the person coming in when you swap out, which is actually a pretty niche and cool ability, but it doesn't matter. The game plan stays the same. We're getting the workups in, and the Leer comes down, which makes us kind of a little bit nervous here because the Smeargle can potentially already one-shot us with a stab tackle. So we're really thinking about this, and the Yongoose is completely crippled with a -6, and I think we're going to have to swap out here to reset the game plan because I'm just kidding. We go all in on the Rock Smash, hoping it would one-shot, but another Leer comes down, and now Piggy Peck can absolutely get sniped by the Smeargle, and that is the biggest problem. So we really need to keep everybody safe here, and we're really weighing the options because nobody can really tank anything, and Smeargle's speed stat at this point in the game is faster than all of your Pokemon. So no matter what, Smeargle is going to hit you at least one time, and if you're swapping around, he's going to hit you at least twice. And that is assuming you can one-shot the Smeargle. So this fight is actually incredibly challenging when you're doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. Now, if you have items and you can kind of stall out the Smeargle and work around to, say, you get like a paralysis or something, that's awesome. But right now we are crippled. We are in the corner, and we are really debating what we should do. Because if we can't one-shot the Smeargle, I think Piggy Peck goes down. So we'll see. We go for another workup here, and tensions are rising. The Yongoose drops right for another tackle. On top of that, if Yongoose crits through the 6-time charm, then it is over as well. So we'll probably die from that. So we have lost so much damage. I think on paper, this strategy was so much better, but it all comes down to this anyway. The Smeargle is here, and we have +3 attacks. So I think we can one-shot the Smeargle. But hey, the Yongoose doesn't get the critical, the Smeargle does, and nobody is surviving a stab tackle crit from a technician Smeargle. It's just not happening. And then the super effective water gun comes down. It doesn't even matter. The Litten is just sacrificial slaughter at this point. And the little Pichu that started this journey, we were so hopeful for the Alolan Raichu. It didn't matter. Our strategy completely got thrown out the window, and we are really going to have to go back to the drawing board and think of a strategy not only to where one person makes it out, but where the whole team of 3 makes it out. Because if you start dropping people in this fight, it doesn't even matter. So second attempt, completely trashed, and now let's boot up that third attempt, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, so for our third attempt, basically everything stays the same again. We're going to give Litten one more shot. We get the signature Picky Peck right off the bat, But for that third encounter, it is not the Meowth, it is not the Pichu. We actually get the Yongoose. This is the first time I've gotten one in these playthroughs here, and at first I was very, kind of underwhelmed and disappointed, but after thinking about what happened with that Smeargle fight just recently, I think maybe the Yongoose is the key. So we go ahead and secure that encounter, and now we're going to have 3 Pokemon against Lima's 2. Let's see if we can, mix and match a little bit and get a better strategy this time around. All right, Captain Lima just chilling on the shoreline right here. And this is the hurdle you have to overcome to get this run underway. He is ready to go. He's got the Yongoose. He's got the Smeargle. We just saw what happened. We barely won the first time with our Meowth. We wiped the second time, and now we are out for blood. So we've got all 3 Pokemon, and this time we throw out the Litten, and we are going to basically copy what we did with the Pichu and the Charm. We're going to get this Yongoose down to -6 attack, and you're probably going, dude, what are you doing? You're just going to fail like you did last time. However, the Yongoose is actually the difference here. So as long as Litten survives to get off these 6 growls, it's going to pave the way for the next Pokemon that's going to come out to do something a little bit similar, but also a little bit different. So Litten is not here to fight. He's just here to deter the enemy and open the door for the rest of the team. So this brave little kitty tanks 21 damage, and now we are throwing in our own Yongoose. This ugly little otter thing is going to be the hero. We tank the damage coming in, no problem. So Lima's Yongoose is now -6 attack, is doing as little attack as possible. Again, this does open the door to critical hits. If a crit comes through, everything goes out the window, but it is the risk I'm willing to take, as we saw what happened last time. So now we are going for basically -6 attack, -6 accuracy. So when we throw out the third Pokemon, the little woodpecker, that means it's going to have the best possible chance to ramp up as much as possible while taking the least amount of damage. So we're going for the -6 attack, -6 accuracy, meaning Yongoose can't see us, can barely hit us if he does break through. We've got to watch out for the Leer as well, because if our defense drops, Smeargle can potentially one-shot the Woodpecker. So there was probably way too much planning and thought process going into this fight, but I really, really wanted to get through this fight without losing anybody, and the Smeargle is just an absolute killer. He will really just take 1, 2, or 3 of your Pokemon without really blinking or thinking twice. So the Leer actually comes down, it does connect, so we got to swap out to safety and get our 6 times workup back in there. We probably don't need all 6 workups, but I don't want to leave any stone unturned here. I want the Piggyback to be hitting as hard as possible, so we are just making sure if a Leer comes down, we just get the Woodpecker to safety and reset. Because again, if the Smeargle comes out and we are -1, -2 defense, honestly, he might not even need a crit to kill the Piggyback, as we saw last time. So here we go. Finally, we dodge the Leers, we dodge the tackles, and as long as Piggyback is full HP, maybe we can tank 1 -6 tackle from the Yongoose, but we're just going for that +6 attack. The Yongoose is an absolute means to an end here, and I do apologize for that, little buddy, but your little Smeargle friend there is going to cause so much chaos if we don't do this. So Piggyback charging up, getting ready to go, and I do believe we're about to see the plan finally come to fruition here. All of the workups coming in. Again, we're going for that +6 attack just so we ensure that everything works out. We hit the pinnacle of attack for the Piggyback. The Rock Smash comes down, absolutely one-shots the Yongoose. Beautiful stuff there. And now only the Smeargle remains. I probably could have sped through this, but I really just wanted to talk through the process and see what we did, what we came up with, because it did take me quite a long time to figure out what our exact plan. And here is the tackle. Look at that raw damage, that Technician Stab coming in huge, but the one-shot Rock Smash puts Lima down, and we didn't lose anybody. And now this run is completely turned around, and the world is our oyster. Let's go make sure we don't miss any first encounters this time. Let's try to keep everyone as safe as possible, of course, but let's just play smarter and just be better. So as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.